Okay, let's unpack this. As SEOs and content strategists, we spend hundreds of hours perfecting things.
Oh, yeah. So much time.
Keyword research, refining the site's whole architecture, optimizing for core web vitals, writing what we think is phenomenal copy. But what if I told you all that effort?
All that investment.
It all becomes instantly worthless if you trip on the very first, most foundational technical hurdle.
That's the brutal reality of it. People are always focused on ranking #1, but they forget you first have to even make it onto the ballot.
Right.
Most SEO failures, they aren't about poor keyword choice or slow load times. They start with a technical exclusion. Your page simply isn't in Google's searchable index at all.
It's like designing an award-winning book, but, forgetting to deliver it to the library. And that, right there, is our mission today. We are taking a deep dive into indexation.
The absolute gateway.
It's the gateway to organic search visibility. So if you've been feeling frustrated because your high-quality content just isn't showing up, we're providing a shortcut to understanding this critical filter. We want you to stop being overwhelmed and start guaranteeing your content gets the visibility it deserves.
Exactly. We need to move past that novice assumption of, well, Google saw my page, so it should be ranking.
Yeah.
Today is about the nuances, the evaluation process, the reasons Google says no,
You know what to do about it.
and the targeted strategies to get your pages from just crawled to actually indexed.
Perfect. So let's start right there with that essential duality that trips up everyone from the beginner to, even seasoned site owners, crawling versus indexing.
Right.
Give us the core definitions and, more importantly, the distinction between the two.
Okay, so crawling is step 1. Just think of it as Googlebot, their discovery software navigating the web.
The little spider.
That's it. It follows links, it reads sitemaps, it visits a URL, and it scans the raw code and the content. That is Google seeing your page for the first time, just noting its existence.
So if I see Googlebot hitting my server logs, I know my page has been seen. But that's where the work begins, not ends.
Precisely. The second step is indexing. And this,
Ah.
this is the decision point. Indexing is this critical evaluation process where Google decides really 2 things. 1, is the page high enough quality?
Okay.
And 2, is it unique enough to be included in the Google Index, which is their massive searchable public database.
So indexing is like getting your book added to the official library and put on a shelf?
That's the perfect analogy. It's been cataloged.
Okay, so here's the crucial aha moment our listeners need to just, cement into their memory because this really changes how you approach SEO.
Yeah.
What's that key rule?
The key rule is this. All index pages are crawled, but not all crawled pages are indexed.
Say that again?
All index pages are crawled, but not all, and this is the important part, not all crawl pages are indexed. This is the fundamental distinction that costs companies millions in wasted effort. I mean, Google might visit your page 50 times, render it perfectly, understand exactly what it's about, but if it doesn't meet those underlying quality standards, or if it's just too similar to another page already out there, Google can, and very often does, choose not to index it.
So it's just sitting there, discovered but unlisted.
Unlisted and unsearchable, exactly. And the strategic implication of that is just staggering.
If you're not indexed, you don't even get a chance to rank.
Not at all. It means every dollar you spent on that content, every second you spent on technical optimization, it's all completely moot for that URL. If indexation fails, you have 0 visibility.
Which leads us right into why this matters so much. It's the foundation for everything else. Let's talk about the specific stakes here.
The stakes are, well, your entire organic strategy. I mean, a page that isn't indexed doesn't exist in search results, period. It cannot show up for a single keyword.
Which means it can't generate any organic traffic.
Zero.
And I think the long-term losses get underestimated. An unindexed page can't collect backlinks naturally, right? Because nobody can find it to link to it.
Right. It's invisible.
And if Google doesn't see it as a valid entity in its index, it certainly can't contribute to your site's overall topical authority. You're just missing a piece of the puzzle.
Exactly. You could hire the best writers, optimize for blazing fast page speed, follow every single on-page SEO checklist. But until Google's quality filter approves it for the index, it's completely invisible.
It's the prerequisite for the entire game.
It is the game.
So, okay, if the page has been crawled, we see the bots, but it's still not in the search results, Google has basically vetoed it.
Yeah, vetoed during indexing.
So let's get into those common roadblocks. What are the specific red flags that make Google say, nope, not today?
So we've identified a list of common culprits, and they really fall into 2 buckets.
Yeah.
Low quality signals and self-inflicted technical wounds.
Okay, let's unpack those. Start with the quality side of the filter.
The number one reason for rejection is low value or thin content. Now, this doesn't always mean it's poorly written. It often means it just doesn't offer enough unique substance to warrant a spot in the index.
Like what? What are some examples?
We see this all the time with, say, templated e-commerce filter pages or auto-generated text or pages that are just way too similar to 10,000 other pages already indexed. If you have 5 pages about blue running shoes that all say basically the same thing,
Google will pick one.
it'll pick one and ignore the other 4.
Exactly.
And thin isn't just word count, right? It's about unique value. 500 words of boilerplate is still thin.
Absolutely. Then you have structural problems, like poor internal linking. If a page isn't connected well within your own site, if it takes too many clicks to get to, or it's an orphan, you're signaling to Google that you don't think it's important.
And that matters because Google relies on those internal links to figure out importance and what to crawl.
Yes, and to allocate its crawl budget.
Okay, wait, let's define that term for a second. Crawl budget, what is it exactly? Crawl budget is basically the time and resources Google allocates to scan your site in a given period.
Yeah.
They don't have unlimited resources, so they have to prioritize.
Right.
If your internal linking is a mess and Googlebot wastes its budget on dead ends or unimportant pages, it might run out of time before it even gets to your critical new content.
So strong internal linking is really just about efficient budget spending.
You got it. Inefficient crawling leads straight to denied indexation.
Okay, now what about the pure technical nightmares, the things that just stop the process cold?
That brings us to slow or blocked rendering. This is the huge problem now with all the JavaScript-heavy frameworks. Google has to fully render your page.
Run all the scripts.
Run all the scripts to see and evaluate the main content. If that's slow or if a script just times out, Google might give up. It sees a blank page or a partial page and it can't evaluate it. Indexation stalls.
So the content is there, but Google literally can't read it fast enough.
Right. And then there's when we create our own internal conflicts.
Canonicalization.
Duplicate or similar URLs and canonicalization errors. Yeah. You might have the same page accessible from 2 different URLs. Google crawls both, but it only wants to index one. If you haven't told it which one is the master version with a canonical tag, it has to guess.
And it might guess wrong. Or just give up.
Or just index neither. Yeah. If your canonicals are misconfigured, pointing to a 404 page or something, indexation can get seriously messed up.
And what about for brand new sites? They face a different kind of barrier, don't they?
They do. They often face delays from low trust or authority signals. Google has a sort of natural delay filter for new sites that don't have external links or authority. They want to make sure it's not spam before adding it to the index.
You have to earn the right to get indexed quickly.
Get her to earn that trust.
Okay, finally, we have to talk about self-sabotage. When we actively tell Google to skip a page and then forget we did it.
The intentional blocks. This happens all the time with site migrations. These are things like the noindex meta tag, which literally tells Google, crawl this, but do not index it.
Or robots.txt.
Or restrictions in your robots.txt file, which says, don't even crawl this. You have to be absolutely certain these barriers are removed on any page you want in search. One misplaced tag makes a perfect page invisible.
That's a great checklist for why you might be stuck. So now let's get practical. How do we check our status? And more importantly, what can we do to improve the odds?
Okay, so always start with the quickest check. It requires 0 tools. You just go to the Google search bar and use the site operator.
Walk us through it. What's the exact syntax?
You type site, then a colon, then the full URL, site.ptps.yourdomain.com, your-full-page URL. If Google returns that exact URL in the results, congratulations, your page is indexed.
And if not?
If nothing appears, or if Google just shows you a list of other pages from your site, but not that specific one, then it is currently not indexed. It's the instant pass-fail check.
Simple, fast, reliable. But if we fail that test, we need the why. That's when you have to go to Google Search Console.
GSC is mandatory for this. The URL inspection tool specifically gives you the whole story. It'll tell you the last crawl date, if there were any issues, which canonical Google chose.
And the most important part,
the page status. It will say discovered currently not indexed or crawled currently not indexed. That distinction tells you if Google stopped at the crawl stage or got stuck at the quality filter stage.
And we know indexation isn't instant, so what's a realistic time frame? If I publish a great page, how long should I expect to wait?
It varies wildly. It's almost all based on your site's reputation and authority. A brand new site might wait days, even weeks. An established authoritative site can see pages indexed in minutes.
So indexation speed is a direct reflection of Google's trust in your domain.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get into the fixes. The 6 actionable things you can do to drastically improve your indexation odds.
First one, link to the page internally. And do it contextually. This is so undervalued. Pages with strong internal links get found and indexed way faster because you're actively signaling their importance to Google.
Don't bury it 5 clicks deep.
Exactly. Link to it from your high authority pages.
Number 2, include the page in your sitemap and keep it fresh. This sounds basic, but make sure your XML sitemap is current and submitted in GSC. And make sure that last mod date is correct. That freshness signal helps.
Number 3, ensure the page has unique and exhaustive value. This is how you beat the quality filter. Avoid thin content. Add depth, examples, data, FAQs, real insights that actually satisfy user intent better than what's already out there.
If you don't add value, Google won't index it. Simple as that.
Pretty much.
Right much.
Number 4, build external signals and trust. Classic SEO, but it applies here too. Google pays way more attention when other respected sites link to your page. Backlinks are critical trust signals.
Number 5,
Ensure no technical barriers exist. This is just mandatory prevention. Double-check for no index tags, robots.txt blocks, bad canonicals, and test for any JavaScript rendering issues.
clean up the technicals so Google has no excuse to stop. And finally, if all that's done, you can give Google a little nudge.
Right. Number 6, use the URL insection tool in Search Console to request indexing. This is a manual request. It's helpful, but it's not a guarantee. If the quality isn't there, Google will still say no. But for a solid page, it can speed things up.
We should also briefly touch on those third-party indexing services. Our sources say they exist.
They absolutely do. They're designed to force discovery of URLs, often by creating web properties or structured backlinks. For massive sites like huge e-commerce stores, they can save time.
But there's a caution here.
A crucial one. They must only supplement, not replace, proper on-site SEO. If your content is genuinely low value, no third-party trick is going to make Google keep it indexed for long.
So let's bring this all home for the listener. We've covered the roadblocks, the fixes. What's the core lesson?
The takeaway is stark. You can spend all your time chasing top rankings, but every single part of SEO ranking, traffic, authority, it all depends on indexation first. It's the gate. If the gatekeeper says no, the strategy fails.
Your content can be award-winning. Your site can be lightning fast. Your on-page SEO can be flawless. But if Google doesn't index your pages, it doesn't matter. You have to master this.
And that leads to the final, provocative thought we want to leave you with. If the difference between being crawled 200 times and being indexed is this idea of unique value, what does that tell you about where Google is heading? Indexing isn't just a technical checkbox anymore. It's an increasingly sophisticated content quality filter. So the question becomes, what hidden elements of depth, of trust, of unique insight is Google looking for when deciding if your work deserves a spot in your official library? That quality evaluation, that's what you should be obsessed with.